Make your kitchen ready for every summer gathering this Memorial Day with LG and Lowe's. Our exclusive InstaView appliance suite includes ranges with air fry, refrigerators with slow melting craft ice, and an exclusive dishwasher you can only find at Lowe's. Plus, you'll get up to 10% back via a MasterCard prepaid card when you bundle eligible LG products via rebate. Shop Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Offer valid 3/3 through 5/18 on select LG items only. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details and timing.
You know, I'm glad we can take this time for ourselves.
I know, me too. It's nice going on new adventures, experiencing new things, and creating new memories again. I missed you when you seemed lost in your gambling.
Well, I'm back and ready to visit new places and see new sights. Oh, and try new foods.
Yes, new foods.
If gambling is creating a problem for you, call the Washington State Helpline at 1-800-547-6133 or visit evergreencpg.org.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
KCU presents the KISW Financial Advisor. Here to talk money, please welcome Todd. I invented numbers, so I know how this stuff works. Peach.
That's right. Good morning, Todd.
Morning, BJ.
Here's how it works, man. Todd will answer your questions. He's a very helpful guy. He's got over 25 years of experience in the world of finances. He is a fine member, worker, amazing leader over there at BECU. And if you don't know anything about BECU, it's a credit union. And they work just like a bank, except everybody part of it, including the people who are members, are the ones running the show. Like Todd's a member, I'm a member, so we all work for each other, and the profits are put back into the people rather than into the pockets of certain investors like some banks do. So all you got to do is just work, live, or attend school here in Washington State, and you can join BECU. Check them out, becu.org. All right, Todd, this is getting very Inception-like because there's a gentleman named Todd who wants to talk to Todd at 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999. So it's Todd squared. Todd, you're on with Todd from becu.org.
I feel like such a square. So Todd, due to COVID, I've been out of work for, I was out of work for about a year, and I had to end up living on my credit card for quite a while, and I'm back to work now, and I'm making really heavy payments toward my card. But would it be better for me to take a loan off my car, which I own outright, to take a loan against my car? I mean, the dollars make sense, but what about my credit score? Will that affect that?
Let's back up a little bit, Todd. What I would recommend is that we have, instead of just like going into let's take a loan out here and pay this off, pull from pocket A to put to pocket B. I would rather you back up and put a better plan together that has a budget, and it tells you exactly the income that you come having in, where that money is going to be deployed, and when you'll be out of debt. And to do that, if you happen to be a BECU member, we have a free service. It's through GreenPath.
I am a BECU member. I am
fantastic.
a BECU member.
Todd from BECU.
Wait a minute. What if it's the same guy talking to himself?
Well, I do talk to myself all the time, BJ, so that could very well be true.
Welcome to the club.
As do I. As do I.
But anyway, Todd, we do have a free service through GreenPath. This is a nonprofit. It's through the National Foundation for Credit Counselors that we talk about all the time. on the program. But go to BEC.org. Go ahead and search Green Path. We're actually doing a big financial fair right now that goes through a couple more weeks where we're doing all kinds of things for our members to get them on the right path for financial health, special rates on some debt consolidation, different things like that. So just go to BEC.org, search Green Path, or you should probably even find it on the homepage. Give them a call. They'll help you, and that might be one of the things that you consider. But I'd rather see that big, better plan in place, and then you'll know if it's 6 months, 12 months, whatever that is, when you're going to be debt-free.
Now, this may seem stereotypical because he was around the same age as I am. So, our generation of dude just never went and got money help. We figured we just were on our own with it. Mm-hmm. Maybe we got some advice from our parents. And I don't know how it is today for like a younger guy. And, Todd, I know you have daughters and I have a son and a daughter. Yeah. And, it is, it's a tough issue for, I think, a person to say, I need to go get some help with how I do my money, because I feel like there's some shame involved and nobody ever discusses money and how they're doing with it, really. Mm-hmm. So, Todd, what do you tell people? How do you change the world so that they can have a conversation about money just like they'd have a conversation about, hey, what's your favorite food? Where can I go get a cool shirt or something?
Yeah. Well, I think part of it too, BJ, is that we don't require personal finance classes in high schools, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of times I don't know that people, everybody wants to live for today. It's better to have that, ice cream today than to wait for something, 6 months, a year, or even retirement 30 plus years down the road. So
come on. We can. I mean, ice cream,
of
course, is always the answer.
Great example, Steve. With,
Steve is,
you're talking jerseys at instant gratification today. So
I have bought no Kraken jerseys today.
Yeah, you may have talked to somebody who went to the exclusive Kraken store at, of course, the arena at Climate Pledge, where those are only things you can get in there. You can't get in any other Kraken store.
In all fairness, we got our tickets for half the price because we waited an hour before the puck dropped and bought tickets online that were lowered below face value. Yes. So we took that money that we spent and saved and put it towards the Lair, their team shop.
Yeah, isn't that great, Todd? When you do some good stuff, save money, be wise with your investment, then turn around and spend it on something else. Isn't that what you teach?
That's what I teach, absolutely. And it's not that we don't want to have fun. You could set aside some of your money for fun, but let's force save some of that. Let's do some of that out of sight, out of mind. That goes right out of your paycheck into some sort of a retirement account that you don't see it, you don't miss it. And then if you can increase that year over year, before you know it, you're doing 18% of your income. And in 30 years, you're going to be very, very happy that you did.
Now, Todd, we're talking to Todd Peach from BECU.org, and if you have any, 206-421-ROCK, you can also text us at 77999. Actually, we'll get, Steve, do we have a text you want to get to?
Yeah.
And I'll ask my question after you take the texter.
So I'm getting an inheritance of about $10,000. Is it smarter for me to use that towards a down payment for a house, or should I pay off my credit cards with it, which is around $9,000, and not have a down payment? My credit score right now is at 796.
Okay. Credit score's good. You're in the A credit. I hate going into owning a home with credit card debt. So I would do a couple things. It depends on how quickly you're trying to buy that home. But I would sit down with a mortgage advisor, and we have many of them that can talk to you for free, to help you come up with a plan to get that. I mean, in the perfect world, I'd love to see you go into a home and have 20% down and no debt whatsoever. Granted, I understand that's probably not possible in today's world. So I would sit down with a mortgage advisor. Let's see where you're at, what kind of your income is, what kind of other debt you have, what you can afford, and then we can determine if all that goes to paying down that credit card debt, or maybe part of it. But we've got to have a plan to get that paid off in the very near term, because that's just wasted money. The interest that you're paying is much higher than you need to be.
And Todd, how do you have this conversation with somebody who can turn around and go, but look at how much apartments are costing, and I'm just throwing all that money away? Because it's not easy to get a cheap apartment. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, owning a house is not for everybody. I talk to people, I know people that all the time that they don't know how long they're going to live here. They like the freedom of just picking up and going. Maybe they're not handy. They don't like to fix faucets and toilets and do maintenance. And there's expenses with that you're going to have to pay for that if you can't do it yourself. So home ownership is not for everybody. And so you need to, assess yourself, and you're paying more in rent, and in the long run, 20, 30 years, you're going to be better off owning the home, especially if you can, get your hands dirty a little bit. But it's not for everybody. And so I'm not here to say that everybody needs to own a home. Every situation is different, and I think you need to sit down with folks, talk through that, and decide what's best for you. So.
And we're talking to Todd Peach from BECU. By the way, if you do not get through today, you can always email Todd. Just go to KISW.com. You scroll down, you'll see a banner with Todd's smiling face. And if he will answer all emails and give you as much good information as possible. And Todd, you brought up a good point about the fact that, we don't teach financial education in schools. And I mean, you've been in this business for 25 years. So, you've raised your kids. You've had them go through the public school system. You and I have talked about this. I can't believe you and I are the only ones that think that this is a skill that needs to be taught, as we have seen how badly financially, intelligent people are. They're not at all. And that's why we had you come on, all those years ago when people just didn't know what they were doing with their money and were underwater with their, purchases. And why, Todd? Do you have any idea why the schools don't do this when it seems like it's the right thing to do?
Well, BJ, I can tell you it's state by state. So back in the Midwest, where I grew up, I happened to be back visiting my family a month and a half ago, and my nieces had gone through a personal finance class.
Wow! In high school?
And actually, it was middle school.
Damn! Whoa!
The youngest one. So she actually started. She was in 8th grade. So in that case, 8th grade back there, middle school. But so they do have. It isn't that it's not taught anywhere throughout the country. It just so happens that in our area, it's not mandated. And I'm sure there's a lot of reasons for that. The teachers have high curriculums, testing standards that they have to abide by. And so, working it into the curriculum, is can be a challenge, but it's, something that I personally would love to see. And I would love to see, we teach our kids how to, make money. Now to teach them how to manage that money.
Yeah. And you make a good point. They have all these testing situations that they have to gear the kids up for in order to show that they're a good school. And of course, that's a bit of a farce, especially since a lot of the stuff in those tests they will never use. And yet they could use how to manage and make money. Boy, that would be helpful.
Yeah. And this isn't, if you're a teacher out there and you're listening, that doesn't mean that you can't try to incorporate some of this kind of stuff into your classrooms. I mean, there are, BECU, we have people that go out and do free seminars for kids in high schools. So there are ways that you could start to incorporate some of the financial literacy into the current curriculum that you have if you so choose, but it's just not mandated today.
And again, if you didn't get through on the phone lines or the text lines, you can always email Todd. Just go to KISW.com. And don't forget, man, BECU is an awesome credit union. And if you live, work, or attend school here in Washington State, you can join at BECU.org. Todd, always good talking to you, buddy.
Thanks, BJ. Much appreciated.
So Will Smith just shared a great story about the time that he realized that the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had jumped the shark, and he needed to stop doing it. I'll tell you all about this at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Kickstart summer at Lowe's with Memorial Day savings on major appliances like the smart Whirlpool top load washer featuring the 2-in-1 removable agitator in a color you'll only find at Lowe's. Take it out for bulky items, leave it in for a more thorough clean. You can customize any load, plus skip steps with the Load and Go dispenser. Simply add detergent once and skip the refills. Memorial Day savings start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today.
everything is better electrified. Like the guitar, toothbrushes, or cars. And Hyundai has the widest range of electrified vehicles on the market, including the first ever Tucson and Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. You can use electric when you want it or gas when you need it. It's your journey. Evolve it beyond the pump in the 2022 Tucson or Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer or learn more at HyundaiUSA.com. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
We missed you!
Come here, kids. It's so good to see you again. Grandma and I have to catch up. Why don't you play in the other room for a bit?
Okay!
It's good to see you again, Mom. We all missed you.
I'm sorry it took so long. I lost a lot to my gambling problems, but I'm happy to have my life back with you.
We are too, Mom.
If gambling is creating a problem for you, call the Washington State Helpline at 1-800-547-6133 or visit evergreencpg.org.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Will Smith remembers when Fresh Prince jumped the shark. Oh. Basically, if and that phrase, of course, has become synonymous when the show was just so lame and they ran out of ideas, and it was like, yeah, we're done. That moment.
Danny looks like he probably doesn't even know where the backstory is from.
In terms of the word, no.
Yeah,
no. The phrase "jump the shark."
Yeah, I have no idea where.
Oh, Happy Days, baby. Yeah. Do you remember Happy Days?
With Richie Cunningham?
Yes.
Well, he got a character name. That's amazing.
And the Fonz, I know the show. I never really watched it. My mom used to have it on before school, but I didn't watch it.
Vicky, did you watch Happy Days?
No, I did not. But the only reason I know that phrase is because you guys.
Oh, okay.
You say it, you bring it up every time.
Yes.
So I actually paid attention once.
Look at that.
And remembered.
It only took us telling it about 40 times before you.
Yeah.
Over the course of 12 years, yes.
But it's kind of bad, Steve, that jump the shark may be something that, Generation Z is going to go, we have no idea what you're talking about.
It's going to be a term that people are going to use and don't even bother to find out why they're calling it that.
Exactly. Because I was like, I know what the phrase means. I just didn't know that's where it originated from.
And it's all because in Happy Days, so Fonzie was going to jump a shark.
He actually, he did. That was like
on a motorcycle, right?
Evil Knievel was it was like Evil Knievel time in the 70s when that show was on, and so Fonz rode a motorcycle. Evil Knievel used to do all these stunts, the real dude. So it was like Fonzie's going to do an amazing jumping thing.
He wasn't on a motorcycle because that would have been weird on the water. I was trying to remember exactly.
But he's wearing his leather jacket on the water.
Of course he does. He's got to be cool, man. Fonz, you don't do anything without your leather jacket.
And somehow
water skis.
And somehow, I thought that it was in the parking lot as well.
I thought there was like a body of water, and then he was on his motorcycle, and he jumped it with his motorcycle. But no, he was on water skis.
Yeah, I thought it was his motorcycle, too. This is so wild how my brain has totally recreated what it was.
I don't know if I've ever even seen the episode. I just know about the episode.
I haven't.
It is the lamest looking thing. Oh, it's bad. It is so bad. But like Danny said, he's wearing a swimsuit, but he's got the leather jacket on.
So the thing is because that episode was so ridiculous that's when it was over.
That was the moment where they realized that show was done.
Everything's going down.
After that, there. I think the ratings went down. It was so disliked that episode it was the start of the downward spiral of Arthur Fonzarelli.
Yeah, I feel like this show's been on too long, and this is why Will Smith was like, after 6 seasons, I had to end Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And he talks about this in his new memoir, and he wrote, quote, anyone who's ever been on a sitcom can tell you the episode in which their show jumped the shark. Ours was the one in which I got shot and Carlton started carrying a gun. And here's a clip from that episode.
Tom, are you out of your mind, man? You walking around carrying a gun? What do you think you're going to do with that? It's for protection. Carlton, I understand that you're scared, man. But the world can be a scary place. You just got to learn how to deal with it, all right?
Yeah, well, I found my way.
It's not you, man. That's them.
Look, I didn't come here for your approval, all right?
I saved your life, man. I saved your life. You owe me! Now give me the gun, Carlton.
Honestly, I loved that episode.
See, I thought that was one of those very special episodes.
It was a very special episode.
It was.
So you just kind of feel that those ones are they're a little cheesy, but they've got a good message generally.
I wonder why you hated it.
Maybe he just felt like that wasn't what the show was supposed to be about.
I think he's right. I think that they probably just thought, okay, we're done doing what we've done, and now we've moved on to this, which is really not what we are. Maybe that means somebody else should come along and do this kind of show, but not us.
Maybe, yeah.
Or maybe it just felt like the Carlton character wasn't meant to be that kind of. It would have been interesting to see if they went on for another 10 seasons, and Carlton then ended up just like going down a different path in
Dark
life.
Carlton.
Yeah, he's like a vigilante, or he goes on the wrong side of the tracks.
They had one of those episodes in Fresh Prince. He joins the gang.
Carlton?
Yeah.
Carl was very conflicted. I forgot about this stuff.
Yeah, and he's trying to fit in, and Will's like, no, dude, you can't hang out with these guys. And he's like, I'm gonna hang out with them, Will. But that was way earlier.
That was earlier. That was before the gun.
Oh, yeah.
So that seems even worse than the gun one.
I know. Well, I remember watching that as a kid and being like, oh, man, Carlton, he's really I really enjoyed that episode. That's so interesting to me.
If we're ever fortunate enough, we'll have to remember this, Danny. If we're ever fortunate enough to talk to Will Smith, you'll have to tell him, I love that episode, and so did you, Rev. Why do you think that was a shark jumping episode? And we'll see what Will has to say. That would have been a good follow-up question. Because look,
it was his memoir, so I don't know if anyone was asking him any follow-ups.
Yeah.
He was writing it in his book. It wasn't.
Somebody should interview him about this. That's all I'm saying.
Let's get him on right now.
Yeah, let's. I mean, he's doing. I imagine he's doing a memoir tour, isn't he? Let's find
the memoir tour starring Will Smith. It is interesting that you love that episode. Listening to it, though, I feel like it does show that Will Smith can act.
Oh yeah.
Just I wasn't cringing at him. It also shows. I feel like. Was it Alfonso Ribeiro?
Yeah.
Really can't?
Yeah.
So maybe that was the thing. He felt maybe Carlton's performance was a little too cheesy.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of like you're right. Maybe we can only speculate, but at some point, Will thought this is not what we do. This is just I got to be thinking, Fonz, this is not cool. You even being in this getup with half of you's in a bathing suit and the other half's got your stupid leather jacket on. This is not who you are. This is lame.
See, to me, that Fresh Prince episode was kind of in line with what they kind of did throughout the series, whereas they would have the dumb episode where Will gets himself in trouble, and it's kind of you roll your eyes at it, but then they would have the conscious ones of they're taking on real world issues. So to me, it was that's what that was.
I wonder if there was when in their script writing meetings, if there was a quota, they're okay, we've got 10 seasons, 2 of them have to have a special meaning.
Yeah.
So here's the father relationship thing, or you know what I mean? Because you're right, there was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, at least every so often, did have one of those episodes where it wasn't necessarily funny. It was just more thought provoking.
Yeah, and early on they took on a lot of racial issues.
Maybe him getting shot. Maybe he was not happy about the fact that I don't think my character should get shot. I don't think that should ever happen to him. He should have been able to, because I have to tell you, there are people that can lead lives without ever getting shot. You know what I mean? The majority of humanity never gets shot. And so it's I wonder if that's why he was this is not, this is what the show wasn't about. This was about a dude that would never be in a situation to get shot.
I don't hate when the comedies do that. It is what it is. But I was just recently, it happened on, we love that show, The Neighborhood. And there's an episode recently where they're spoiler alert, but I can't remember her name, but she was also in Two Broke Girls. But that character.
Oh the wife.
Yeah,
on the show. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, I was going to say Schmidt's wife because I only know him from
Beth Bears, I think.
Well, you know what? I don't know her name, but I know she's she's awesome.
Yeah, Beth.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
but she had a miscarriage in the episode, and it was just as we're watching it, I'm just this is really sad.
Yeah.
You just kind of come to that. When we see our list of things on our DVR, you kind of gauge it based on what kind of mood you're in to watch a certain episode. So it's I don't really feel anything intense. Maybe we should stay away from, La Brea or 911. Let's just watch something a little bit more lighthearted, Be Positive or The Neighborhood. And then all of a sudden it's man, I'm really sad right now. I wasn't wanting to be sad.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Did you guys have a show where you watched it a lot and you realized that you had to jump the shark episode for it? For me, it was Family Matters. And like the minute Steve Urkel like was the focus, and he just started doing like stupid, like cloning himself, and it was like, all right,
oh my gosh,
I'm
I forgot
done
about
with
that.
all of this.
See, that was Family Matters was the same one kind of for me in that, but it was when they started crossovering, like it was like the TGIF like multiverse, and he landed in like Step by Step with like a rocket pack or something.
Yeah,
like, and I was like, I don't understand what's going on anymore. Like, all of these are now connected. I was very confused.
Yeah, just done with the show after that.
Basically.
You know, the one it was recent, and it's just kind of random, but it's was it Grey's Anatomy and Station whatever the night? They're both like that crossover shows. Sure. They're both kind of loosely based. They kind of connect because they're kind of like
Station 19.
I think.
Yeah.
Dude, it was just like at the height of all the crap that's going on in the world, obviously with the pandemic and stuff. And they come back from the season. I understand why, but now everybody on the show had masks on, and you were just like, I kind of want television to be a little bit of an escape. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like when you're watching like a television show, I understand why they're doing it, but you're just like, I don't know and my wife was more about that. Like she's like, I don't feel like watching this. Like I'm just being inundated with all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like we should be done with these shows, mainly because I was just done with those shows anyway.
Oh, good call.
But it was like the perfect kind of storm of like, yeah, let's take a break from them and let's stop DVRing.
I had to stop binge watching Shameless because of that, and it was like, all of these people are just terrible, horrible people. I don't want to deal with these people on television right now. Like, I just don't. And
that was my, Rev, I thought, at some point I was rooting for them, and then they screwed it up every time. It was like, my God, you guys are too smart for this. You are not as lame as you're letting me believe every season.
And it's 11 seasons of it. I'm like, come on.
Even Fiona's like, I'm done. I have to get out of this family and quit the show. She's
I can't
just like,
blame her.
It's like, how many times can Fiona make really bad decisions in relationships? How many times can Lip, a really, really bright kid, basically let his addiction keep him from learning stuff? It's just, okay. Yep. It's just, it's just like, it also jumped the shark that I thought that, the younger sister ended up getting pregnant in a real dumb way. And I always thought, but she's a smart kid. I just don't believe she'd be this stupid. And then I was like, yeah. And so that show, I loved it for so long, but I was like, I'm done. Yeah, that was the shark jumping moment. I think that happens when the characters do stupid things that you go, you would never do anything this stupid, but I guess you've run out of ideas. So
but then it's just like over and over and over again. It's like, come on.
I mean, it's like Fonzie, you would never go out and do this. You would never jump. You would do it on your motorcycle, but you'd never water ski with your stupid leather jacket on. This is it. It's over.
That's the most unbelievable part. Water skis?
It's over. I'm
what
done
about
with
you,
it.
Vicky?
You're not going to believe it, though.
Is it Family Guy?
It is Family Guy.
The answer is always Family Guy for you.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I started watching it around like a year or two after it came out. So it came out in 1999. I was a kid. And at the time, they did... like every episode kind of had like some sort of moral, or even if it was kind of a silly one, or they're paying homage to other shows. Like, well, at the end of the day, we're still a family. We care about each other. And then just after a few seasons, it just became, let's crap on Meg. Let's do the same repetitive jokes over and over again. And it got really dark. If you go back and rewatch all of it, and I've seen almost every season, mind you, there's 20.
Damn.
Yeah. I've seen about, I think, 17 or 18 seasons. It just got way too, like, they were trying real hard to be edgy with some of their jokes. And it doesn't hold up. It's hard to watch some of these episodes now. So whenever I do, quote unquote, binge it, I watch the first maybe 4 seasons, and that's it.
Back in the glory days.
Just for the nostalgia factor. But I mean, I learned a lot, because when I watch these shows, I have to go and Google. I'm like, who the heck is this person?
That's how you learn all your pop culture references from the 80s.
And I actually, I'm curious, 90s. And I Google it. But other than that, nope. I can't really watch it with that same enthusiasm anymore.
So you guys remember the website jumptheshark.com? I forgot all about that. There was a website. It's not there anymore. But there was a website where that was basically what the website was about. Episodes there. It's like, okay, this is the moment where everything went downhill.
I forgot about that website. Oh, I wish it was back there again. That would be awesome to see, because I like what they think of some of the shows that are on today.
When Matt got fat on It's Always Sunny, I stopped. Like, it wasn't. That
was a tough season.
It was just like that whole season was just not.
Yeah.
I've never gone back ever since, and I keep hearing it's gotten better and all that. But like that was when I was like, okay, I think I'm just done with It's Always Sunny.
It's really hard though, because Always Sunny has been on, what is it, 15 seasons, I think? And they are coming out with
that.
Yeah, they are coming out with a new season. I think, I don't know, soon. I don't know if it's the end of this year or the beginning of next year, but I did see that. And, they're mean, awful people. Society has definitely changed, compared to when they first started. And I don't know if that's a part of jumping the shark is like, people are just tired of the mean, awful people. Also, the storyline of Matt getting fat just wasn't something that anybody really cared about. It's interesting how that show dealt with Matt's sexuality too on the show and his sexual orientation. The beginning years of that show, I don't know if they really play well if you try to watch them now. Especially when it revolves around Max. So,
and it looks like season 15 is coming out December 1st.
So it's still going.
That is crazy.
They need to revisit it.
But if you go to IMDb, when you look at the seasons, it says 16, 17, 18. So I'm assuming they've been renewed for that many more seasons.
Yeah, probably.
So, they're going to be around for a while.
Well, I mean, look, it's that people still watch it, and it's probably a really cheap show to do when you think about it. They basically just are in the bar. Every once in a while they go to different locales, but nothing major. So it must make money for FXX. And like I said, the last couple of seasons were really good. I really enjoyed them. So, Always Sunny. But definitely one that I know can jump the shark for some people. Yesterday, Steve... Yeah, he did get this one right.
What gun manufacturers' first names were Horace and Daniel?
Ben and Jerry.
No.
Oh, wait, Smith and Wesson.
Yes.
I said ice cream.
It all goes back to ice cream. It really doesn't matter what we talk about. If you mention two names, it just goes to ice cream for Steve.
Yeah, really.
Can't really blame him. I mean, at the end of the day, if all of us would just drop our guns and pick up our ice cream, we'd be fatter, but we'd be happier, wouldn't we?
Never once did I say, this ice cream really put me in a bad mood.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. This ice cream never made Will Smith say, I'm quitting the show. Never said it. Oh, yeah. So, Beat Migs, we're doing that. How about, right now, give us a call. 206-421-ROCK. We'll play Beat Migs at 8:50 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I know if bankruptcy is going to provide me with relief? What are the steps for my situation?
There's so much information out there about bankruptcy with the internet and what people have heard from friends and other people that they've talked to about their financial issues or bankruptcy. There's also a lot of bad information out there or urban legends about bankruptcy. In order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you need to talk to an attorney that's experienced in bankruptcy. So in order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you should talk to an experienced bankruptcy attorney. And my job is not to convince you to file bankruptcy. My job is to help you to make that decision and have all the facts so that you can make an informed decision about whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, what benefits it's going to have for you, and what the downside of filing bankruptcy is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
Kickstart summer at Lowe's with Memorial Day savings on major appliances like the smart Whirlpool top-load washer featuring the 2-in-1 removable agitator in a color you'll only find at Lowe's. Take it out for bulky items, leave it in for a more thorough clean. You can customize any load, plus skip steps with the Load and Go dispenser. Simply add detergent once and skip the refills. Memorial Day savings start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today.
Oh my gosh, it's been too long since I've been on a bike. I really like it. Living a healthy life free of gambling problems is a lot of fun and a nice change of pace.
Did you say race?
No. Yes.
Reconnect with yourself and the ones you love. If gambling is creating a problem for you, there's hope and help. For more information, call the Washington State Helpline at 1-800-547-6133 or visit evergreencpg.org. That's evergreencpg.org.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.